Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Could your electric car actually be making you sick? It might. And I'm in California. It is a big topic here. Welcome to Accelerated Health with Sara Banta, where I cut through the noise and fast track your journey to better health. I'm your host, Sara Banta, CEO and founder of Accelerated Health Products and certified by the National Association of Nutritional Professionals. I'm here to share the latest on supplements, wellness hacks, natural health solutions that actually work. And we are going to talk about how to boost your energy, to detoxing, to balancing hormones, and everything in between. I will help you reach your optimal health. So let's dive in. Like I mentioned, I live in California. This is a huge topic. I've got friends and family members driving these electric cars. I knew there was something wrong with the fact that you are riding on a battery. I just came home from a trip across the Atlantic to Europe and, had to deal with the jet lag and all of the things. I'll get more into that because I actually feel pretty darn good considering that I had to fly and I was in this big box and all the EMFs and everything that was going on, had to go through the X-ray machines and everything. So there is a way to mitigate the effects, but does that really mean we want to choose these electric cars? When you think of these electric cars, you probably imagine a cleaner, greener future. No tailpipe emissions, no gasoline, just smooth, quiet, eco-friendly driving. And I don't want to get political. But what if I told you your electric car, or more specifically, the infrastructure that powers it, might actually be exposing you to more toxins than you realize? So let's dive in. There is a hidden pollution around the EV charging stations. You got to charge your car, right? Otherwise, you're not going to go anywhere. A new study out of UCLA, and don't you love that it's a California school that did this, looked at 50 EV fast charging stations across 47 cities in Los Angeles County. Researchers found that something alarming. Levels of the PM 2.5, the ultra fine particle matter, were far higher than expected. So to be clear, what PM 2.5 is, it's no ordinary dust. These particles are so tiny, they can slip through your lungs straight into your bloodstream and organs. They're often laced with toxic chemicals and industrial residues. I mean, think of microplastics, how they're so small, and it's the big trend talking about microplastics. They're everywhere. Even on 60 Minutes, I saw a report about it. So here is another example of small particles that we don't even know we're breathing in. We talk about processed foods and the leads and the glyphosates and all of these things that we can see. We can't see these fine particles. We don't even know we're consuming them. So some of the highest readings: West Hollywood, Santa Clarita, Claremont, Santa Monica. The EPA's safe threshold is just 9 units. And to compare, West Hollywood was at 39 and Santa Clara was at 34. That's huge, huge difference. And these toxins aren't just coming from the cars. They're coming from the chargers. These fast charging cabinets use fans and cooling systems that stir up the industrial particles trapped inside. And when they're released, they become airborne toxins right where you're standing. So you're breathing them in. So why are they so dangerous? They cause inflammation, oxidative stress, lung and heart disease, hormonal disruption, all the things we talk about. Disease is caused by oxidative stress and inflammation. We get rid of those things, we won't accelerate our aging. The hormonal disruption, we all are suffering from estrogen dominance, the unexplained weight gain, the low testosterone, low libido, hair falling out, thyroid going slow, all of those things, even cognitive decline. How many people do you know that have dementia, Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's? The numbers are skyrocketing. Neurological damage. Oh, And not to mention the higher rates of autism and ADHD and anxiety and depression in our children. So it's not just our older population, it's our younger ones too. And who is buying electric vehicles? It's the people that are actually into protecting the environment and their health. It's not the person that knows nothing about health. It's you. It's you that is searching podcasts to listen to for their health. And what's such a bummer, because I had to go buy a car a couple of months ago, and I really wanted certain cars, and they didn't make the regular gas guzzling machine anymore. They were all electric, and California is pushing it. So it's almost becoming not an option to go to the traditional gas guzzling machine, right? So this is something we need to talk about. Symptoms can range from fatigue, headaches, to long-term chronic illness. Think about when you are on a flight. You are in this big box with EMFs and radiation. You've just gone through the X-ray machine. You've got 5G wire towers at the airport, and you're at altitudes that are unnatural to the human, right? So that's where jet lag comes in. And that's where the headaches come in, because the EMFs are, your brain is scrambling to try to regulate the frequencies that are coming into it. So that's where the headaches come in, fatigue, long-term chronic illness. And if you're already dealing with an autoimmune condition or thyroid imbalance, how many of you have slow thyroid, hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's? You're even more vulnerable. So not only those fine particles that we're breathing into our lungs and our heart, but the EMFs, right? These electric cars and their chargers emit powerful sustained EMFs. Every time you sit in your vehicle or stand near a high voltage charger, you're soaking in non-ionizing radiation. EMF exposure has been linked to brain fog, sleep disruption, hormonal imbalances, again, mitochondrial damage. We're only as healthy as our mitochondria. Those are the powerhouses of our cells. That's where our energy comes from. Autoimmune flares like Hashimoto's, right? Increased blood-brain barrier permeability. Did you know just by holding your cell phone, your blood sugar can go up? You have a higher risk of insulin resistance, not eating a morsel of chocolate. So these things have a real impact on our body. And this is on top of the 5G, being in front of a computer or a Zoom, being on your cell phone, all the things. I'm guilty. I walk around with my phone. It's part of my body. I try to be careful. But to add to it, riding in on a battery car, riding in where you're literally sitting on that battery. So it's not just about what you breathe in or the EMFs. It's the food and the water supply. So then we're adding up all these other things. The processed food, 70% of the diet that you're eating is processed food. Glyphosate, artificial sweeteners, emulsifiers, no fiber, no protein. Ingredients our bodies don't even recognize as food. So they stuff them in their fat cells, and we don't know where this unexplained weight gain comes in. We don't know where our anxiety or depression or our hair falling out comes out in. It's all of these things. Our livers are so backed up, they can't process all of it. Our livers have to detox everything. We're talking about the fine particles and the EMFs, the ingredients from our processed foods, even the non-organic whole foods that we're eating, even the organic foods that are oversprayed with the glyphosate that we have no control over. Things that aren't even allowed in Europe. Just traveled to Europe. Food was clean. There's no such thing as organic because everything's organic. Wouldn't that be nice? Sounds like we need to push at the government level. But what do we do at the personal level, right? So all of these natural toxins, the ones that are even the natural ones from bacteria, algae, plants, can accumulate in the food supply, cause illness. We've got the issues with how are you cleaning your vegetables, contaminated seafood, beans that aren't fully cooked and can introduce harmful compounds into your diet. I know it's so overwhelming. Stop being overwhelmed because we're going to talk about solutions. But these new EVs are introducing new types of toxins, right? Well, the battery production involves heavy metals like lithium, cadmium, nickel. The charging equipment, they release the voltage, the volatile organic compounds and PM 2.5 that we talked about. There's improper recycling. They can leak toxic materials into water and soil, right? The power generation. So you're still getting, that's polluting the air. And even in sitting inside your EV can pose risks of mold, bacteria, or chemical residue built up in the upholstery or the ventilation system. So why is detox not just a trend anymore? You got to do it. In a world where clean technology still comes with chemical baggage, you need to protect your internal environment. And this is where I recommend a daily detox protocol. And as I talk about this, like I mentioned, I just traveled to Europe. And all of my friends said, Sara, do not plan anything for a week. You are going to have jet lag. You're going to be off your circadian rhythms, your cycle. Just take the week off to recover, right? Well, I flew home last night. I actually feel great. Why do I feel great? Because of what I'm going to be talking about right now. Number one, acceleradine iodine. This is your first line of defense. This isn't a synthetic iodine. This isn't a typical iodine. It's not iodized salt. Acceleradine iodine is a monoatomic iodine, scalar charged and suspended in 200 proof organic non-GMO alcohol, which is unmatched for purity and absorption. Why is that important? Those factors make it the most bioavailable iodine on the planet. But here's why it's so important. Not only does it feed your thyroid, it's fat 4 and 3 in your T4 and your T3 thyroid hormones, but it displaces the toxic halogens, the fluoride, the bromine, the chlorine from your tissues, and the heavy metals and these fine particles. It supports your thyroid health, helps your body. If your thyroid is sluggish, everything's sluggish, including your detox pathways. So detoxing from EMFs, from the foods, from the electric car particles, everything is slow if your thyroid's slow. It supports thyroid health, metabolism, hormonal balance. It energizes the mitochondria. It powers the cells to detox and repair. So here's the cell membrane. We got to get these toxins out of the cells. Well, that cell membrane is made up of fat and iodine. If you don't have enough iodine and healthy fats like phosphatidylcholine to support a flexible cell membrane, you're not going to be able to get those toxins out and your nutrients in. We've got to get the toxins out of the cells, and you can't do that without iodine. The iodine increases ATP in the mitochondria inside the cell. What's ATP? That's your energy. Not the monster drink, not your third cup of coffee. It's the ATP. That's going to keep you from accelerated aging, keep you from having cells that die, keep you from losing your hair and the unexplained weight gain and the fatigue that you just can't get rid of. Well, you got to get rid of the toxins for your cells to function properly. And it comes down to iodine. I high dosed my iodine on my trip. And you better believe I took iodine before my flight, in the middle of my flight, and at the end. But then not only that, I paired it with accelerated Nucnomor. This is for the EMFs and the radiation. And unfortunately, there's no way of getting around the radiation when you fly, but when you are also in your electric car. So some of these toxins don't just harm physically, they carry an energetic imprint that disrupts the body's communication system. So your cells can't communicate to each other, right? It's like being on your cell phone underwater. Nucnomor works at the frequency level to neutralize those imprints. It helps clear radiation, EMFs, and toxic frequencies. It supports cellular integrity and balance, and it protects against those non-physical stressors that you can't see that are floating around in the air, like EMFs that typically supplements don't get. And when you pair it with the acceleradine iodine, it is a 1-2 bam of detoxing your cells, protecting your cells from the toxins, the heavy metals, and the radiation. So if you live near the 5G towers, the EV chargers, high EMF zones, you're traveling, you need this. And I take it daily, and I high dosed it when I was traveling. That's why I feel great this morning. And the time zone was very different. So number 3, and I high dosed this on my trip, the accelerated cellular detox powder. So this is your body's version of a filter. It's a blend of activated charcoal, which is amazing to travel with because you just don't know what's in the food that you are eating when you go to restaurants or elsewhere, right? Activated charcoal soaks up the toxins. Zeolite, micronized zeolite, and chitosan. I love chitosan because it helps bind to excess cholesterol and dietary fat that you might have taken in. Helps with weight management. Slippery elm, another one of my favorites to help with the amoebas, the parasites, the candida. Get those out. Micronized diatomaceous earth, which also helps with your hair, but it helps soak up the toxins, reduce inflammation in the gut. It's great for colitis and other gut issues. It increases bile to help get those toxins out. Bile is that soap, that detergent that kind of cleans everything out and takes it out of the body. It traps the PM 2.5, the heavy metals, the mold toxins, the pesticides, the plastics, and everything. So you take it before bed. You can take as small as a teaspoon or as large as a couple tablespoons. I've worked up to a couple tablespoons, especially with what I've gone through with a parasitic infection that I had and then the travel. And it keeps me regular. It keeps me moving, keeps me energized. It helps soak up those toxins that the acceleradine and the accelerated nucleomore kick out, right? It doesn't deplete your nutrients. And it works also well with the 4th supplement that I won't go without, accelerated liver care. This rebuilds your liver, detoxes, rebuilds, and restores your liver health. How many of you have been diagnosed with fatty liver disease? At least 50% of you. And your children, 25% of our children have fatty liver disease. This was an alcoholic's disease, and now it's getting into our children's population. Why? The toxins, the EMFs, the heavy metals, the processed foods. They are suffering, and it's not their fault. Your liver is the ultimate filter. Modern toxins are overwhelming it. It cannot handle it anymore. From the airborne pollution, the medications, the hormone disruptors, the food, the EMFs, our EV chargers, the microplastics. The microplastics are everywhere. Our cutting boards, our glass straws, our toothpaste, they're everywhere. And it is overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed. But what we can do is soak up those toxins and help our livers, and we will feel good. This formula, Accelerated Liver Care, is unlike any other liver formula. It has 13 targeted herbs in it. Tugka, you've heard of it. It helps with bile, helps with mitochondrial support. Philanthus and Stonebreaker, you may not have heard of these. They help with enzyme function, regeneration, helping break down liver stones, gallstones, and actually even kidney stones. So this isn't just a liver supplement. It helps with that conversion of the thyroid hormone, T4 to T3. So it's going to help with your metabolism. It helps with fat burning and protein assimilation. Can you build your muscle? Can't build your muscle. It doesn't matter how much protein you're eating unless your liver is assimilating that protein. You can't burn fat unless your liver is able to process and turn that fat into energy, right? Your liver's everything. Your liver is also connected to your kidneys. It's connected to your hormones. It's what filters out the excess bad estrogens that are causing estrogen dominance. It's got skullcap, Thai black ginger, and Eclipta, all helping with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant protection. It has calcium D-glucarate that helps bind that excess estrogen in the body that you don't need. Not the good estrogen, the bad ones. And best of all, this formula is the only formula that is free of sulfur, oxalates, and allergens. A lot of liver supplements have these plant poisons that actually backfire and can back up your liver. Are you taking glutathione or NAC? Those are sulfur-based. Our bodies need them. But when you take a supplement for them, it actually might backfire and back up your liver. You need to get them in a different way. Now, you also might be taking dandelion in your kidney or liver supplement. That has oxalates. That could back up your liver, slow down your thyroid. That's where accelerated liver care comes in, because it doesn't have any of these ingredients that might backfire. So when you're supporting your liver with the accelerated liver care, you're soaking up the toxins with the accelerated cellular detox powder. You're kicking out more toxins from the accelerated iodine and the accelerated nucleomore. The four of them work together. Now, this is really important because detox is not just a fad anymore. It's not something you may do. You got to do it if you want to feel your best. Now, one bonus tip, especially when you're traveling, and I think this was also a key to why I feel good today, is the Hiwi. And I haven't talked about this in a long time, but I use it daily. This little machine that you can wear on your body that has little TENS pads, you can put them on your wrists, you can put them on your ribs, you can stick this in your sports bra, in your pocket, you can put it on your ankles, depending on what you're targeting. You can target headaches, EMF detox, liver support, kidney support, thyroid, fat burning, energy, mitochondrial health, increasing testosterone, increasing ATP. I had someone say to me the other day, I am back in the emergency room or ER because they can't figure out what I have, and whatever I have won't let go. That's where this comes in. Over 60,000 different programs. It's got 30 programs just from COVID for that or for other viral issues that you might be fighting. It's got things for the shingles, things for parasites, candida, E. coli, salmonella. If you have food poisoning, what if you're sick? You get sick on your trip. What do? You don't want to ruin your trip. All of these supplements are going to boost your immunity, boost your cellular energy, and this is the cherry on top. Now, this does not come before the supplements. You need to give your body the building blocks and clear out detox pathways, and that is the cherry on top of the sundae. And when you use these supplements, accelerated iodine, accelerated nucleomore, accelerated cellular detox powder, accelerated liver care, I use them daily. And you like I mentioned, I don't go anywhere without them. I feel better thinking, better sleep, more energy, fewer allergic reactions, less inflammation. When I used to travel, I would get so inflamed. The edema was horrible. I couldn't pull my rings off my fingers. I don't have that as much anymore. My thyroid stays on point. My immune system's strong, right? So these electric cars are just one more factor that could be affecting our health in a negative way. I know you're trying to do the right thing. So whether you choose to drive one or not, that's your choice. I hope this helps you understand. But these are the tools that you can use to mitigate the negative side effects. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for tuning in to Accelerated Health with Sara Banta. I really want to be giving you the tools and inspiration to take the next step without being overwhelmed. You can head to SaraBantaHealth.com for my articles and links to my podcast. Join the free group coaching on Telegram, where you can ask your question. Sara, I heard what you said. I'm totally overwhelmed. Where do I start? I'll tell you where to start. You can also find the supplements at acceleratedhealthproducts.com. Use coupon podcast10 for your first order. And if you liked what you heard today, share this with your friends. Share it with someone that's driving an EV. They might not want to hear it, but this is what they can do about it. But by doing this, not only are you going to help them, you are going to help my podcast reach more people. And my goal is to help everyone around the globe better their health. You can find this podcast on all podcast outlets, including Spotify, Apple, YouTube, E360, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Roku, and over 100 different platforms. And remember, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So join me next time for more ways to unlock your health potential.